Happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? Hey, Hump Day Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. We're just a couple of days away from getting back to the weekend, which just goes too darn fast anyway. I think they should add another day on to the weekend because, that little punk behind, couple hours ain't enough, man, after you've been working hard all week, going to college, going to trading class, whatever the case may be, or just, board job, whatever the case may be. It's Hump Day Wednesday, man. It's always good to make it to the middle of the week because none of us are promised the next day, people. Some people not going to wake up today. That's just life. So we have to appreciate every moment that we here on this planet, no matter how much nonsense is going on. The mission is not to get caught up and become a victim of the nonsense that's going on in the world. I think that's the overall purpose of having this life experience in this human avatar. And I think as people, we getting confused of what this purpose is. Let me tell y'all something real quick this morning. Smash the like button as you come in. This life experience is nothing but a big behind puzzle that you have to solve. You have to figure out what this life experience is about in this time that you're experiencing it. All right, we already know that you can't really trust anything in the world, people. You never could before. But these days now, you really can. So I want to open up with something good before we get into this morning show. But you can't trust anything. You can't trust anything. And the thing is, this is your journey, your experience, and you as an individual, you have to find out what is this experience really is about. What did you learn from it? Why is it all these different things that you got to try to figure out to be knowledgeable of what this experience is really about and who you really are? Because to be honest, people, we don't really know what's going on. This planet as it rotates on its axis, man, the lies and lies and lies is gonna keep on turning with it. But you as an individual have to figure out your self-experience riddle, on who you really are and what was the reason and the purpose behind your journey and experience as a human being. Because I would never let a day go by to remind us all, we're not human first, we're energy. So remember that, we're spirits. Okay? And have any of y'all figured out God? Have y'all figured out? Have y'all figured out religion? Is it really creator made or man made? We gonna get into a whole nother segment about that. I got something in the tuck just for that. Ooh, I'm trying to tell y'all something. You learn something every day. Every day you wake up, you find out how really dumb you are, or how a little more smart you really are. But man, we got a good show this morning. We ain't talking too much boxing, okay? For all you boxing heads out there, ain't too much rock'em sock'em robot conversation going on. Of course it will, but this is Sports Talk Network. We talk all sports and we talk about everything like it's a sport, because life is a sport, baby. Become the champion. Become the champion of your life. That's what it's all about. Don't worry about somebody being the champion of their life. Be the champion of your life. That's where it's at. Make sure you got the strap on around your waist for what you're accomplishing in your life. Don't worry about what's to the left. Don't worry about what's to the right. Don't worry about what's up and down. Worry about where you at, where you trying to go, what you doing, what you making happen for you and yours. Self-motivation, along with a little bit of help from my friends. That's all you really need. That's all you really need. But man, listen, I got a little story to tell. Well, it ain't my story, but I just want to keep you guys up to date on a few things that's going on before we get to the main ingredient. Well, we know that Hollywood is woo. It's in a messy spot at an all-time high. All these years of being around, I never seen so much go on in Hollywood, and it's getting closer and closer to this trial starting. They just started doing some little things, and like I said, the music industry right now is somewhat on a halt, at a stall because they got to find out what's going to happen with Mr. Sean Combs. But hey, guys, rumor is that Sean Combs finally got a phone call from one of his friends because the whole time this situation, this man been behind bars. All his party goers, I mean, all his everydayers, no one has reached out to this man. No one, out of all these thousands of people that was partying with this man, they doing what they do. I'm not going to get too graphic about their business too morning because it's just too damn early and they ain't the main topic. But we all know what we've been hearing, what's been going on. Now, no matter which side you on, we already know that, these celebrities, they get high praise. So you got people saying, oh, they can never do anything like that. That's just the people attacking them because they're fed up with the people. Okay, that's one side, and I'm going to let you have that. But then at the other side, there's truth to this thing. It's a whole lot going on. But anyways, Kanye West calls Sean Combs. They have a conversation. And, Diddy said, yo, man, you the only dude that called me, man. Now listen to this. There's a catch to it. Now we know Kanye's a very sporadic guy. It's all over the place. So he's, Diddy said, Dad, man, man, everybody else turned their back on me. Now listen, Kanye wasn't calling him this whole time, but he was just happy that he got a phone call finally. Okay, so what they said in the conversation between the two, wasn't nothing too crazy. But he said to Kanye, hey man, I really appreciate you, bruh. You the only one, everybody just did me wrong, man. They did me wrong. You the only one that called me. And right, and in that conversation, Sean Combs was supposed to have said, you know what, man? I'ma beat this. I'ma get out of here. And you wait. You wait till I beat this. You gonna see. You just wait. I got something for everybody. Which that should not be a surprise to anyone that's listening right now. That should not be a surprise that those words came out of that man's mouth. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm a fair shooter. I'm a straight up and down guy. Now, as much as I don't like the guy, because I don't. I don't like the guy. I don't rock with that negative energy, none of that stuff, okay? I don't like the guy, okay? Before he even really got big like that, when I was out there early, in the hip-hop days and ran into the guy, I just never liked him. His energy was always off to me, But nonetheless, he is who he is. He's a very brilliant mind when it comes to this industry, but it's also a perverted mind, But I'm gonna tell you this: something is going to happen. This man gets out, something is going to happen. Now, some people think that this situation is somewhat a distraction for everything that's going on in the world. But how many distractions they gonna throw out in the world? I mean, how much more can we be distracted by anything? We already know everything is a daggone distraction. But my thing is that he said in his conversation, hey man, why I'm getting out and everybody's going to catch it. And I'm waiting to see because some people think, hey man, you know what? This whole situation, they could just be pulling everybody's leg. Because remember, Epstein, nobody never went in. Can't count Harvey Weinstein because he was already gone before that came up. You know what I mean? So we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm gonna just say this, man. Hollywood is not a safe place anymore. It never was a safe place, but it's definitely not safe now. So make sure y'all keep your eyes and your ears tied to the situation, because I know a lot of people is wondering what's going to happen. Also, I left off. Let me say this, y'all, in the conversation. Well, after the conversation that Kanye West had with Sean Combs, right? I left something out. Forgive me. So then Kanye West, I don't know if you guys heard about it, he went on a rant and he started attacking Jay-Z and Beyonce. Ooh, he attacked Big and Jay. Uh-oh, you know how everybody say they can't be attacking Big and Jay. What are you doing? Kanye West, you're really over. It's really over for Kanye West. Oh, Kanye really effed up right now, because now he just went on a rant and start talking about probably the most two, the industry most powerful couple. You know, and I don't know if y'all heard. Kanye is something else, all right? And he attacked them. He said a whole lot of things, but I'm just get around everything that he said. Let me get the one thing that he said. He spoke on the children. Yes, Kanye West came out. He was expressing himself about Jay and Bay, and next thing you know, he started talking about their offsprings. Yes, he came out. Kanye West came out and said that Jay-Z and Beyonce, the two younger ones, is the R word. Okay, not the got R word, but the R word. You know what I mean? This all is politically correct. Listen. The man came out and said that Jay-Z and Beyonce, two younger children, the other daughter-in-law's son, he called them retarded. Okay? He went off. I ain't gonna get into too much more that he said, but we know it's Kanye West, so you know when he speaks on something, you know, y'all know how it is. But like I said, I can't wait to see what's going to happen, because see, it been wars going back and forth with the Hollywood fans, like it is in the sport of boxing. You know, and I go over and I check a lot of that stuff out because it's entertaining to me at the end of the day. Because I tell everybody, you're crazy arguing about a person that don't give a damn about us. These people in a tax bracket, 4 or 5 different roles away from us, and we arguing about somebody's lifestyle or what they got and all. It just kills me. They ain't giving us none of that daggone paper, man. But I tell y'all, something's really going to take place. It's going to get ugly. We're in an ugly situation now. You know, we have the president running around, or whatever you may call him, the orange man, Agent Orange, you know, whacked out, wild out, you know, whatever you call him, that's on you. But you know, you got Mr. Trump doing his thing, you know, doing whatever it is that he's doing. But people, it's just too much nonsense and craziness going on at the same time. So I know for me, every moment that I wake up, like I'm on pins and needles. I may not sound like it, still got to go about the day as a normal day. But as I'm going through my day and just doing everything that I do, that's routine, I'm on pins and needles. I'm on pins and needles because I think a lot of things that we talk about, sometimes I don't even think that we're going to be here tomorrow to see if there's any disclosure to it. This is how I feel right now. I'm being honest with you guys. Because there's so many people that just have the power just to do something, and we all going, everybody is out of here with no warning. You know, ain't nobody got to say it's over. Somebody can just say, you know what? I got the power to do this, and just push a button, everybody's going. I fear that, I do fear that happening, because I think at some point that's going to happen. This is how I feel about whatever's gonna when this life is just done completely. But none of us don't have an answer to that. We don't know. We don't know what's going to be here, how long the planet is going to be here after we leave. We don't know. Just like we didn't know none of the things before we got here, and we know they told us a bunch of lies and stuff. But y'all get what I'm saying. But man, keep your head on a swivel, man. Don't take nothing for granted. There are all type of signs out there that's letting you know there's creeps out here, people out here that's meaning to do you no good, no good. So also protect yourself, protect your children too. A whole lot of children is coming up missing, and I know y'all get it in y'all states and cities too. That a lot of children is coming up missing. And a lot of times we're not finding these children. And recently here in Philadelphia, there's been a lot of people their bodies been getting pulled out of the river. So be careful out there, and then make sure you stand airtight on your loved ones that probably need a little extra assistance. They might little mentally challenged or somewhat sick, things like that. Watch those people too, because you got sick people out here, and they really don't have no picks about who their next victim is going to be. So make sure everybody is straight out there, man, and just try to make your life and the people that you bring around you, try to make that a perfect time for you and that person, you and yours, because we living in a messed up world, and it's nothing but a bunch of evil people that are fully in charge of this. So that's why you got more negativity outweighing the positivity. And some of us, we just little small people that's trying to, bring balance back in and outweigh the negative. But that's neither here and there, man. It's things gonna happen. We gonna get our way. We ain't gonna get our way. That's what it is. So, hey, man, just let y'all know I can't wait to the end of that, because I really think it could be that nothing else will happen behind all this, like I said, because the list, and nobody's really going down. But if this man, Sean Combs, and there's something very interesting about this case, that's why I'm trying to see if they're going to, keep it closed circuit or whatever. I don't know, but it's going to be someone, a few people that's going to let us know what's going on, because it's going to be ugly. I think this going to be ugly. It's probably one of the most surprising and biggest trials in any sort of charges. It doesn't matter. Um, Yesterday numbers, it's not today's numbers, man. It's yesterday's phone. To deal with that reality too, as people. Life goes on, time moves, and time waits for no man or no woman. So as you can see, when you look at everything, we all know that things is different. We see it. We say it all the time. Not thinking it. We're calling it the way that we see it. It's not the same. I wish it can go back to this. I wish it can go back to that. And then you have, the younger people or newer people saying, that's all you do is complain. Why do you keep trying to bring back yesterday? Because yesterday is what makes today and the next day. So you do have to go back to yesterday. People are always trying to brush out yesterday, but trust me, there won't be no present or future without yesterday. You know what I mean? So it's getting tight out there, tightly crazy in my honest opinion. But some things will never get back to the same, and that's what we trying to see. Should we bring back the rules and the things of yesterday? Or we should try to do something new to see if we can all be together on a common ground and agree on something. But man, fear that ish. I'm gonna get me a joint real quick. Be right back. Yeah, but I fear that, man. But like I said, everything's different now. So we gotta set some things for, hey, this is different times. And like I said, you look at a lot of things, they're not the same no more. What you tell me something that's from yesterday that's booming, that's it's been coasting very well and it has been getting better. Because I can't say that about a lot of things, you know. But like I said, with the industry, just look at it. Just look at entertainment right now. Are you fully entertained? Are you fully entertained? Is your hunger for entertainment? Is it fulfilling to you? Now I don't think it is. It's not to any of us because nothing is the same anymore, right? So now when we look at things and we like, well, hey man, you know what? People don't do this as much. People don't do that as much. Things are changing from just the normal things, everyday things to look at it. People physical shop may not be the thing to do anymore because now you got a lot of online stuff. So things is dropping. You know, people's not out at the malls and in the stores like that as much as they used to be. Um, a lot of places is not in business like they used to be. They closing down. You constantly hear business closing down. Talking about NBA basketball, like everything is different. So is this, and things is changing, and I don't see a business that's booming that's bringing more people to it than it was already there. And it's like any other sport, like a great sport of boxing. Um, I think we got the same situation when it comes to basketball. A lot of people is not watching basketball. You gotta ask yourself, wow, what happened to this lovely sport that we call basketball that Curtis Blow made a smash hit about? You know what I mean? Exactly. There you go. You heard it. Lousy players. That's one of the reasons why basketball viewership is down. The OG right here just said lousy ass players. No heart, cry babies. They too what's that entitled? They're too damn lazy, man. Bunch of cowardly lions for them Wizard of Oz. They need to click their heels 3 times and go trade their heart in for a transplant and come back with some daggone heart. That's one of the reasons why we not watching basketball like that. You know, that's a man sport. You know, just because it's a ball, we gotta, dribble it and go shoot it and everything, man. It's still a man sport at the end of the day. And they ain't manning up in basketball, man. I'd rather watch the little pee-wee leagues. They got more heart than these guys. They entitled. They constantly getting away with traveling and doubling. And, you touch them, something's wrong with them. Half of those dudes is always broken up. I never seen a league where it's injuries throughout the entire season. The entire season, like half of the league is just plagued with, this is the Sixers, man. It's like they are not even that they just they talking on. Oh, exactly. and this is part of the reason why basketball, the ratings in basketball has dropped. Because everything that I just said, guys, just like the gentleman had joined in and said, bunch of weak behind players. And these players don't play with the tenacity that the players did on the yesteryear. Nothing is even the same no more. I mean, even down to the the festivities. I mean, come on, we know in every sport, y'all. Before that season was over with that sport, that is one thing we always love to see. In any sport, we always want to see the All-Star game or the Pro Bowl or the pennant or whatever the case. All that shit is weak now, bro. The All-Star game ain't even an All-Star game no more. I ain't watched the All-Star game in probably almost damn near a decade because that's how poor it is. People not even watching the All-Star game. Don't contests ain't crap no more. Because you got too many diva-like players saying, yeah, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Shut up. No, but this is part of the reasons why basketball has dropped 53%. That's not good. Next. 53%. That's a bad percentage. That's not nothing to be happy about. 53%. Not 10, not 13, not 7. 53% the viewership has dropped. Can you imagine trying to watch the chip or the playoffs? Are they going to be worth the watch? I mean, because when you look at it, I mean, the ratings is down. So does it even make sense to keep on having a championship or whatever the case you want to call it? Now that the freaking ratings is down, nobody's watching it. What's up, man?
What's up?
Not much, man. Almost time to go home, bro. Almost time to go home. All right, my guy, have a good one. I see y'all guys tonight. Make sure he behave himself. Watch that guy over there. Yeah, but it dropped. The ratings had dropped, and I mean, basketball probably was the number one sport to us. For me, I know it was basketball, then it was football, but come on, man, we never expected the sport of basketball for the ratings to drop the way that it has, and I gotta say, it's quite scary. It's quite scary, and what's the reason behind it? Like I said, the quality of players is not the same anymore. Then it's the same old repeat. It looks like everything is a playwright because we all can agree that we feel as though that most of these sports that we watch and bet on and even love are rigged. So we think that mostly everything is fixed, just like this whole story about how life came about. It's fixed. it's fixed up, baby. So we live in fixie times, and a lot of people ain't on that fixie time type of stuff. We want to see these people, no matter these teams, no matter if it's a team or whatever the case, we want to see them win, compete, and do it naturally. At least I do, and I think I can speak for all the sports fans that has integrity. We want to see these teams play at their best. We want them to have the best team that their organization can honestly get them. And I say honestly, because these organizations, they robbing the crap out of the fans. And I think that's another part of the reason why the sport of boxing, the sport of basketball, the ratings had dropped because the fans is not going for it no more. People put their money into these sports that we love and watch. I mean, and it's a money-making sport. Other than that, we wouldn't be interested in the sport. Because if it didn't make any money. Well, if you're not spending your money, because good morning, Miss Denise. The only thing that you interested in is where you spending your money at. And people's tired of spending their money on things that is not worth spending their money on and is losing value. You know, it's losing its value. So with basketball, because they're not pulling anyone into the arena to see they teams play. You know, sometimes you got cities and states, man, wait out. Don't even support the city team until they get a person. You know, and with some of these teams, they only got one person. You know, for all these fans, they only got one or two players on the entire team. That's the only reason why they watching the team, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because they simply not happy. And what are you supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? And everything is dropping, but we talking about basketball. 53%. And because all these they just soften up the sport, they pacifying these new players that's coming in. The OGs of the sports, the know-hows, they didn't got on some nonsense, so they're not really helping the sport. The ones that really can help the sport, they just speak their mind somewhat. Because what comes with it, what comes behind it, it's too much of a daggone headache. So why is it? I mean, what's taking the people away from the television when it comes to basketball? And simply because there's no mass appeal anymore. There's no mass appeal there. Where's the mass appeal? There's none. Go ask Gangstar. Maybe Guru can tell us. You know, maybe Prima, but there's no mass appeal there no more. That's why it dropped 53%. We tired of seeing some of these players that need to just give it the heck up. Know when to fold them. Nothing lasts forever. And you got a lot of guys in an NBA that simply don't need to be in the NBA any longer. Get your old behinds up out of there. People is tired of seeing these guys. These guys gotta go. Another part of the reason the ratings had dropped. Who want to keep on seeing LeBron in the old school crew? He trying to keep a whole bunch of he trying to start a senior citizens alliance in the NBA. If you notice, all his homies and stuff, and most of those guys that came in around the time he did, a year before, a year after, they still playing. They need to stop playing around and get up out the sport. Somebody need to tell them part of the reason why the ratings dropped 53% is because of them. Nobody wants to see these old dudes no more. These guys didn't play 20 years, this, that, and the other. You know how many people wish they can retire from work right now at the tender age of late 30s and their 40s, especially with the way life is going now, and most likely the Social Security that we working for, we might not get that at all. You might not never stop. You might have to keep working forever and never make it last forever with no key sweat. Man, get up on out of here. Basketball fans is tired of saying the same old ish. It's time for LeBron and all the rest of those dusties that's still in the NBA to get the hell up out of there. I think if some of these old dudes get up out of here, I think it might bring some attraction back to the sport. But right now, it's losing a whole lot of money. And we talking about a sport. With all the major sports make money, we know that. But come on, man, we talking about the NBA. You know, one of the main things that people wanted their young sons and grandsons and nephews and so forth to grow up to be. Huh? We still talking about we want those so to get out there, get on the basketball court and try to become something, be the next AI, to be the next Splash Brother, or one of the Splash Brothers. But like I said, part of the reason why is because everything that I have said. What has basketball done for us, the fans? Ain't been giving us none, hasn't done anything. That's why the ratings percentage is so high of it dropping. And if they don't change things now, it's going to get worse. I mean, if the ratings had already dropped and it's in the 50s, then what's going to take to decrease those numbers? Because the way that I see the league going, 53%, it might be 56 next season. Depending on how the playoffs playing out and who wound up going to the chip and playing for it and playing for the chip also may determine if the ratings is going to stay the same, decrease, or increase. But we don't have the same type of men are all men, athletes are all athletes in the sport of basketball. That's another reason why. And then when you think about out of the 53% that has stopped watching the sport, what could the age difference be? What is the age range from? You think is it more the younger people, or is it more the older people, or is it a combination of both? I think it's a combination of both. I think the old and young are equally not happy. I honestly, and I think that's something that the older basketball fans and the younger basketball fans have something in common. Neither one of them are happy, you know? You don't even hear the young guys talk about these basketball players like they used to. Remember years ago, you couldn't keep, Steph and Clay out of these guys' mouths. I don't even hear the young guys who is watching basketball say too much about anybody. I can't say honestly who's the guy that they talking about the most. So that I think that's an equal thing. I think the young and old, like I just said, are equally not happy. And even some of the younger guys stop watching NBA basketball. They're part of the percentage too, so they gotta realize what they doing wrong. So they can prevent it to continue to happen. And what do they need to do? Shout out to our sponsors, RayconGlobal.com, and make sure you out Cleveland, man. Go over to the breakfast box. I'm about to send somebody out there so they can bring me something back to Philly. But let me see what's going on with my peoples this morning. What's happening? Gotta say salute and say grand rising to the awesome chat. Dr. Mark in the building. Thank you for coming through, Dr. Mark. Brother D Free in the building. Sports Talk Network. We trying to do our thing, baby. We like the woo. We coming through like the woo. So y'all better get ready. Big Dre in the building. JBT. Melanie Queen. High vibrations. The chairman is in the building. Tommy Hill keeping everything on chill. And I say this man, Mike Rim is the MVP. Mike Rim, I'm going to make an award for you, man. Just give me some time. I'm going to make an award for Mike Rim. Mike Rim supports everybody, man. Mike Rim is a diehard, man. He supports everyone. D Free said the problem is a lot of these stars are teaming up with each other and they are competing against each other. Right, but it's an overload, D Free. Right, I get it's an overload because you got these teams out here and everybody's trying to, build a super force and this, that, and the other. So I get that. I get exactly what he said. Yeah, Mike Mom, you that guy, Mike Mom. You and Melanie Queen, I'm trying to tell you, is about 3 more that I can say top 5 on this joint, man. Y'all all over the place, and wherever we at, y'all at. Yeah, I know what you meant, D Free, when you said not competing with each other. I knew exactly what you meant. And they not competing with each other. Now, I mean, because you got all these guys up on one damn team. You got LeBron James out here trying to make a daggone dream team every time he goes to a different basketball team. Got all these guys. They want to load up and load up and load up. Then ain't gonna be nothing left. C-Man Ruffin, No Duck Zone podcast in the building. Salute, brother. Always great to see someone like yourself up in the building, man. I appreciate every time I see you doing great things. Keep on doing what you're doing. New York, New York, big city of dreams. And everything in New York ain't all what it seems. And it seemed like, man, we need to get Curtis Blow to come back out and make a remake to the basketball song. Curtis Blow, I know you're still there. I know you're still around, Curtis Blow, but we need you to give us a remix, man. %. That's not good. We back. There we go. We back at it. So it's down and you gotta expect the ratings to be down at the rate that it is. I mean, it's self-explanatory. None of these guys are really trying to be competitors. There's really no lion heart in basketball. Where's that only built, only lions allowed. There's no killer instinct in basketball anymore. And I think that's one thing that a lot of basketball fans are missing, which is one of the few things that draw us to the sport. But we don't see the league as a whole playing at that level. Overall, we don't see it. You only can have a very few guys and maybe a half a handful, not even a full hand. Just a half a deck of cards of players that actually is playing. And then when you look at the rest of them, they just I got a bench spot, I'm getting the check. But none of these guys really want to, I don't know, it's just, they've been pacified. I've been saying it for years, and I think a part of it we all probably could agree is the money. Is the money. We made it too easy. Just like they say some of us parents makes it too easy on our children because we want to give them the world. And that's how the NBA and all these sports organizations is treating these young people. See, these young people, they had to work as hard as everybody else. Well, of course, they go, you know, they go to practice, they go this and that, yeah. But they didn't have to put in that extra work to really get what they want. These guys don't have to ball as hard as the other guys did. You know, Kobe in them era, Jordan in them era, Dr. J in them era, man, they made it rough. You had to earn your spot. You had to earn that dollar. But now everything is just giving this, giving that, and they don't want to work hard. So if you giving out hefty contracts with, you know, not much, what's the word? With not enough oomph behind it, what do you expect to happen? A spoiled kid don't work hard. And you parents that spoil your children know exactly what I'm talking about. Our daughters don't work hard. We spoil our daughters. They don't work hard. If you spoil and pacify somebody, they're not going to go hard. They're not. This is what's wrong with sports now. That's what's wrong with the sport now. All these sports. That's what's wrong now. The money is too easy for these guys to get to. It's too easy. That's what's making these guys lazy. They don't want to be in the gym as much because they feel as though, damn, I can get this type of money. I can get this. Hard. You done already put in a young person's mind to work smarter and not harder. That you're supposed to get that advice a little along the ways. But now it's like we ain't gotta work hard at all. They not even giving us the bare minimum, or they, you know, or they talent because it's so easy. They can just get paid, just become a name, and the odds is on you. Good morning, Latoya. Pittsburgh T, how you been? Good to see you, man. Mike Mizik in the building. Like, seriously. That's why they don't work hard. Too much money when Jalen Brunson can leave $100 million on the table and he has 1-0. Y'all see what Pittsburgh T just said? That's my point exactly. Exactly. That's the problem. That's the reason why the ratings are dropping. Stop giving these guys, these people so much money. Make them work for it. The people of yesteryears had to work for it. Matter of fact, what was the term that they used to use? They had to slave for it. And we used the word slavery. I had to, oh my gosh, you better enjoy this plate, boy. The way that I slaved over the damn stove, huh? The way I slaved over the stove, you better appreciate that. But then we talk about nobody should be a slave. Very touchy word. It's a very tricky word too, right? Because being a slave is a bad thing. Is being a slave a bad thing? Oh, don't give me no raised eyebrows. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping, y'all. Is being a slave, is it a bad thing? Kanye said it's a choice. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. You know, because what you make slave about may not a slave for may not be for a negative reason. I'm just saying. So when your wife is slaving over the table, that's bad. Hmm? When your parents is going out here to these jobs, getting paid whatever they getting paid to make sure that you're comfortable, you got food in your stomach, couple dollars in your pocket, clothes on your back. Did you worry about your family slaving to take care of your ass then? Hmm? Watch how y'all use that word slavery. It's really not a bad thing. I ain't saying it's a good thing, but y'all know what I mean, okay? But guess what? None of these guys are slaving. They not being a slave for their career. They're not slaving to make the fans happy. They're not. They're not. See, the whole thing with being a slave is you're slaving for a good reason or a bad reason. But these kids of the day, they not grinding like they used to because they don't have to. So we have to blame the people that's in control for the reason why the NBA ratings had dropped to 53%. Hmm? They get the blame too. Are they in charge of marketing? Things like that, but they don't care as long as they getting some type of money. See, the only time they really gonna start caring is when they get when that money loss hits them hard. And see, they ain't been cracked in their pockets like that for them to get it right. To see, this is the reason why they keep doing the same nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. Because the funk ain't the stink ain't funky enough for them. But what are the suggestions? What should they do to bring the NBA ratings back up? Is to do the total opposite of everything that I've been saying for the last 54 minutes. That's all. It's an open and shut case. And stop allowing these superstars, a so-called superstar, to keep trying to load up this. No, work for it. That's why all the comparison, that's why another reason why. The comparisons. Everybody's tired of hearing the same old conversations. So everything that's along with the sport of basketball is the reason why the ratings had dropped. Soft ass players, team owners who really don't give a damn. They're just owning the team and they're using the city and the fans just to make a dollar. They ain't really trying to make you and the rest of the fans in your city happy. They're not. Because if they were, every team would be damn near qualified to make it into the playoffs. When is the entire league going to look competitive? Another reason why. That's another reason why the ratings dropped 53%. Because the NBA overall don't look competitive at all. And that's why people stop watching. That's why people is dropping off of watching it, because it don't look like this. What's going on? Make me want to holler, throw up both of my hands when it comes to this. When it comes to so many things. See, basketball is missing Michael Jordan. They missing a Julius Erving. You know, they missing a Kobe Bryant, Adele Dawkins, Iceman Gervin, Lou Alcindor. See, if the NBA had those type of mentality, type of players around, that's just a few, we'll be having a different discussion about the ratings. We'll be talking about the ratings is on an all-time rise, not on an all-time low. You know what I mean? It's the facts. It's the facts. These players are getting away with highway robbery. So what they're going to do? What should they do? What is the ultimate answer with preventing these things from happening? What could they do? What will they do? Do they really care? Maybe the powers that be that run the sport don't even care no more. But everything ain't the same anymore, people. Everything is not the same no more. And I'm pretty sure we'll be back with more ratings on a lot of different things, more so on the downside. But we had to bring up basketball because it's one of the most beloved sports. And with all the back and forth for who to go, who ain't the GOAT, who's doing this and who's doing that. Well, it's a perfect time for it, and hopefully the conversation does something for the sport. Because right now, basketball kind of remind me of some of the situations in other sports. And it look like the people that's running it coming straight out of a comic book. It's making the sport less interesting. You have people that's turning away from a sport. And like I said, 53% is a very scary rate. Very scary. Wow. I think boxing might be in a safer place than basketball right now. Did I just say that? Did I just say that? And y'all know how I feel about my sport of boxing. Matter of fact, question for the chat. Right now. This morning on Coffee Donut for Grown-Ups. Please. Please, please, please. Answer this question. Is basketball in a worse spot than boxing right now? Matter of fact, since basketball ratings had dropped, the viewers has dropped 53%. I don't think boxing overall viewership has dropped that much. So that's something to build on, people. That's something to talk about. That's something to talk about because we do get to talking about and comparing the sports. What's the America's best sport? What's the most viewed sport? Well, we got something going on. How you doing? How are you doing? Low balancing, not playing with 20-year-olds when Miss people don't have more than 8 PTO days, 6 days, and maybe 2 weeks vacation all year. What's up? What's going on, my boys in the house? Angry white man in the building. What's going on? What's going on with you, man? Yeah, so we talk about sport of basketball. The ratings has dropped 53%. 53%. D1, it dropped 53%. And I'm with this being said, I think boxing is a little more safe than what I thought it was. I think boxing's in a better spot than NBA basketball right now. I kind of feel relieved a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I kind of feel relieved a little bit. Right. And it's definitely time for those dudes to get up out of there. LeBron, go ahead and retire, bruh. Go and retire. You retire, take Chris Paul with you and the rest of the goddamn Big Gay clan. Go, you take the rest of those guys with you. Get them up out of here. The NBA is a young man league, and most of these sports are respectfully. So get you when it's time to roll, like my man George Clinton said on House Party. With Dusties for the Dusties. Well, it's time for some spring cleaning, right? It's time for some daggone spring cleaning, and they need to get some of these people up out and keep on taking up spots in the sport, knowing they should retire, holding up spots, holding up everything. Get y'all asses up out of here. Y'all made enough money. Get up on out of here. Make room. That's why the basketball viewers are not happy. That's another thing too, Pittsburgh T. I talked about that at the beginning. How whack the R-Star is. And guys don't want to, participate. That's what the R-Star game is about. For some of the sport's biggest stars to participate in it. And you got some of the biggest names. They don't want to be in the slam dunk contest. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. See, that's part of the reason why. Too many damn divas. Thank you, Pittsburgh T. Too many diva-like mentalities. That's why all this issues a little messed up. That's why everything is just about in the position that it's in, people, because all this diva-like stuff, a bunch of grown-ass men acting like divas. Man, shut up. Get it together, crying and all that. Get up on out of here. But hey, basketball better do something. But I feel kind of good. I thought my sport was very bad. And I'm gonna have to go do a survey check later on to see if boxing moved up a spot or not. But it seems like basketball is just every week. Basketball is losing its grip and starting to slip into the darkness. It's slipping into the darkness, man, and there might not be no coming back from that. You dig? May not be no coming back from that one, y'all. We should see, though. We should see. Yeah, they're not participating. These guys get lackadaisical. Yeah. I will, BBO partner. Yeah, I'll be done at around 8. But yeah, it's definitely the ratings and stuff. They're going up and down. But what we're going to do, like as consumers, as fans, we only could do but so much. And as fans, we got every right to voice our opinion and spend our money where we want to spend it and how and all these other things. But we're not going to keep on putting it to something and we constantly taking a loss on it. We're not going to do that. It's not worth our time and our money. You got to give it something, Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm back, y'all. Yeah, but do something. These guys are lazy. They ain't got to work. They ain't got to work hard. That's the problem. They're not making them work hard for what they got. That's the ultimate problem. Everything being given. And they ain't got to give too much to work for it. That's the damn problem. Once we get over that, you got to get these young whippersnappers some know-how, man. Some get right. But if you're constantly giving them, you're taking care of these young athletes and treating them like their parents treating them, then what you expect to happen, damn it? What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? We treat these like they are children or something, man. I ain't got time for that. Gotta work for it. A lot of these young athletes have not been putting out much, and they get back more than what they putting out. Business. So something got to balance out, and something's definitely going to change and make it freaking happen very soon.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yeah, make sure you elevate your listening experience with rayconglobal.com. And also, if you're out there in Ohio area, no matter if you Cleveland, wherever you at, Daytona, whatever, make sure you check out the Breakfast Box out there. I heard they do some good cooking. I'm about to send Stork over there so they can bring me something back to Philly, man. When I get to get there and go those ways towards Ohio, get out there sometime just to go check out the Breakfast Box and also to tear down BBO's property value. Bring down the property value a little bit on the good side of things. But yes, we gotta see what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? We already know. Let's give our closing statement and get on the way. So everything is just about down, just about everywhere. You're not gonna find too many situations to where there's an increase that's more so on the upside, the good side of things, and not an increase with the bad side of things. So I think we all aware of that. But again, we're gonna support whatever it is that we like, whatever sport, team, player, we're gonna do that, because without us, these people don't get a paycheck. So they have to be mindful. And I think these athletes, even though, sometimes the customer ain't always right. Sometimes. But when it comes to this, when it comes to a sport, and you got the customers spending they Tony Yayo, you damn right they are right. And you need to get it right. You need to get right. Just taking money from the city because they know good and darn well they not putting together no team or getting a play to get the job done. They know they ain't doing it. They're just taking your money and saying it at the beginning of the season. We're gonna make improvements, but then in the middle of the season, there's no improvement, and then we back in the same situation that we are in now. Man, I ain't messing with this sport no more, man. It's coaches, this player, that, blah, blah, blah. They're complaining more than complimenting. And that's a part of the reason, and probably the mother of all reasons why we have a decrease in the sport of basketball, because it's giving us more to complain about than to compliment about. You see? You gotta make sure which one of those C words you want. Or you want the critical criticism. So in your sport,
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching BVO. And if you're down with BVO, subscribe and join the community. Have a great night.